Hello and welcome to our special program, To The Point.
The new government is in place for almost 6 months now, and the main opposition party, the Congress, has seen a lot of changes in terms of the kind of voices which have been coming within the party, as well as the kind of preparation which the party's central leadership seems to be doing to try and revive the organization. Today we have with us a senior leader of the party and General Secretary, Mr. Digvijay Singh. Sir, welcome to our show. First and foremost, let's straight away come to defeat in 2014 Lok Sabha elections. There have been a committee which was already set up, the Antony Committee. There was an internal report which has been, as I understand, which has been submitted to the party president. The action is likely to be taken. Some action plan is being made. But what is the general understanding within the party as to why such a humiliating loss?
Democracy means change. We were in power for 10 years. Well, we delivered what we promised. Each issue of the election promises we delivered. Every year the UPA government produced its report card, and on every indicator the government of India progressed. But unfortunately we lost in the war of perception. We were termed as the most corrupt government ever, which was factually wrong. If there was a corruption, we took action against them. Whether it was a minister or a member of parliament or a bureaucrat or a corporate senior officer, we have not spared anyone. But yet the CAG reports of 2G and coal blocks gave a perception of huge amount of scams. They were not scams, they were notional losses. If there was a scam in 2G, it was not more than 200 to 400 crores, which is still very large in real terms. But because of that, a minister went to jail. Our members of parliament went to jail. Similarly, in the coal block, we followed the same policy that the Congress government in pre-96 and the following governments from 96 to 2014 followed.
BJP.
Even NDA government, they followed the same policy. Yet the CAG in his own wisdom said there is a notional loss of 1,80,000 crores. Why? Because it was not auctioned. How could we auction the blocks without the rules and the law in place? There was no law.
So you believe, as you're pointing out, that it was a war lost because of the perception, because the party could not reach out to the masses. There is a section within the party which believes, and there are statements which have come in time and again, which points to the fact that the senior leadership of the party was ineffective in reaching out to the masses. Exactly the same thing as you are saying, but maybe in different words. So do you agree?
Well, why only senior leadership? It goes down the line. If from the AICTs to the Pradesh Congress Committee, to the District Congress Committee, to the Block Congress Committees, to the polling booths, if we had put the whole thing in the right perception, this wouldn't have happened. But unfortunately we didn't.
You yourself made a statement once about one of the top leaders of your party, that's the party Vice President Rahul Gandhi, that he should be more communicative. And the same kind of remarks have come in from other senior leaders as well, that Rahul should now go ahead and communicate more. So is that a post-facto realization that if that communication process would have been a little more efficient pre-election time, then the results would have been a little different?
Well, pre-election, post-election, our views remain the same. That when the BJP leader, Mr. Narendra Modi, was on social media 24/7, was on the channels all the time, we hardly had space in the media, and the ratio would be 1:3. So therefore, I think we could not really convey our message, communicate our message, and also communicate of the good thing which the UPA government had done in UPA 1 and UPA 2.
Okay. One more viewpoint which has come from leaders of your party, specifically the younger lot. Few of the younger lot. To quote specifically former Finance Minister P. Chidambaram's son Karthi Chidambaram, his suggestion and similar suggestions on similar lines are that state units of the party should be given a little more freedom to function. The kind of rules and procedures within the party of having AICC observers or maybe general secretary in charges and secretary in charges, that's organizational setup. But then the state unit should be given a little more of freedom to operate in their own way.
I totally agree with him. In fact, this is exactly what Mr. Rahul Gandhi wants, that the regional leadership should be built up. And in fact, this is what he has tried to do in Youth Congress and NSUI, that the whole setup should not be based on nominations. There should be election, and therefore that means more authority to the elected bodies.
And what do you make of the younger lot in the party now stressing themselves, putting their best foot forward, making statements? We saw some of the younger secretaries also urging the senior leaders not to target the party's top leadership.
None of the old leadership has ever targeted the Congress leadership. At the same time, I have been saying this for a long time. The younger leadership must take over. I was the first congressman in 2009 saying the same thing was what the secretaries are saying in 2014.
So does that also apply to the post of party president? Should Rahul also go ahead and take over,
No,
as you said once?
As far as that is concerned, we have a Congress president, Mrs. Sonia Gandhi, who has proved to be a very successful AICC president. But yet at the same time, change is the law of nature. So therefore, the younger leadership must come.
Is that indicative? All these, views being expressed and discussions being held, maybe in party form as well. It must be held. I am not aware. Since you're the general secretary, you must be aware. But these views expressed in the public, in the media, is that an indication that a huge organizational change is in the offing in the Congress, as we have been hearing for quite a while now? How soon is that expected?
Congress President appointed Mr. A.K. Antony to head a committee which went and discussed the issue at length with the top leadership of the Congress party, and they have produced a report which is with the Congress President. Mr. Rahul Gandhi is discussing with all the senior leaders as to what are their suggestions. So once the roadmap is ready, they will come out with it.
And what is the kind of changes can we look forward to, since we've been hearing about a more involvement of the younger lot in the party, and we've seen during the UPS days as well, there were younger leaders in the party who were given ministerial positions, who were given responsibilities. People like Sachin Pilot being made the president of the state unit in Rajasthan. So is that stamp going to be there?
Exactly.
Youngers will
Yeah,
be taking
absolutely,
over?
absolutely. Absolutely. Younger leadership will be given more authority and more responsibility.
Okay, let's change tack now to the fight over ideologies between Congress and BJP. And since the time Narendra Modi has come to power as Prime Minister, this fight seems to have grown become a little more intensive. We saw the case of Sardar Patel and Indira Gandhi's anniversary. We saw it there. Your party leaders were dismissive of the fact that there were no functions being organized by the government. The government had decided that they will not hold any functions for anyone apart from the father of the nation. Is that a very well thought out strategy which you believe Prime Minister Modi and his counterpart in the BJP, that's BJP President Amit Shah, has?
See, we are very happy to note that Mr. Narendra Modi, who has been abusing the Congress party legacy, who has been abusing the Congress party's ideology, is trying to appropriate the legacy of the Congress party. And he is not trying to promote the ideology of Golwalkarji or Hegdewarji and Savarkarji at its appears. But behind the scene, it is the ideology of the hate and communal violence of the BJP and Sangh, which is primarily driving its cadre and the leadership there. But on the face of it, Mr. Narendra Modi is trying to appropriate the Congress party legacy. But that is a big, I would say, a misconception that he is trying to create. And they are masters in creating these misconceptions. What we are trying to say is, okay, the Congress ideology is bad. So don't try to appropriate the Congress ideology. After all, how can you forget this was Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, who had said that RSS is a communal organization. It is responsible for communalizing the whole political situation in India, and therefore it should be banned. Well, if after that, if he wants to appropriate Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, we have no problem. If they want to appropriate Mahatma Gandhi, whose assassination was because of the ideology of hate and communal violence of the Sangh and the Hindu Mahasabha.
Okay, great, interesting. But many, counterparts in your party, your counterparts in the party, doesn't seem to see, think on the same lines. There are several other views as well. We'll come to those views, but before that, let's take a short break, and when we come back, we will ask Digvijay Singh about exactly what is the party's plan for next 4.5 years till the time they are in the opposition. Welcome back. Senior Congress leader and General Secretary of the party, Digvijay Singh, is still with us. Sir, before we went into the break, you said that there is no harm in, you believe that there is no harm in, BJP and Narendra Modi, the Prime Minister, trying to appropriate the legacy of Congress leaders such as Nehru and Sardar Patel. But then many in your party believe that this is a ploy by the ruling party to de-link these icons from the Gandhi family and the Congress party.
But they have also accepted the role played by Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. They've also accepted the role by Mrs. Indira Gandhi. And therefore, the history of this country, pre-independence and post-independence, cannot ignore the contribution of the Nehru-Gandhi family in freedom movement, and after that, building a new modern India.
Okay.
How can that history be changed?
Then why not, send an invitation to the Prime Minister or the BJP as a party while your party was commemorating 125th birth anniversary of the first Prime Minister, Pandit Nehru, in New Delhi in the form of an international conference? Why leave them aside?
Well, has BJP ever invited Congress party in any convention? We would like to know.
But then the Prime Minister could have been invited.
But again, would Prime Minister, who belongs to the BJP, would have agreed to attend a party function of the Congress party, held by the Congress party?
So you also agree to the statements which have been given by other party leaders that there is no need, there was no point in inviting Prime Minister in the first place itself?
Well, the question is, has BJP ever invited Mrs. Sonia Gandhi, or when Mr. Dr. Manmohan Singh was there, have they ever invited Dr. Manmohan Singh in any of the conferences which BJP has held?
Okay, leaving aside BJP and the Prime Minister, some of your own leaders and senior leaders seems miffed with the fact that either they were not invited, and also, a very interesting coincidence that some of the very senior leaders of the party were missing from those 2 days of celebrations. To quote a few, senior ministers such as A.K. Antony, even the Finance Minister, I guess, was not to be seen in those 2 days celebrations.
No, all senior people of the Congress party were invited. But as far as I know, Mr. Antony ji was not keeping well, so he couldn't come. As far as Chidambaram ji is concerned, probably he was there for a day. So I can't really say, but all the senior leaders of the Congress party were invitees.
Okay, in the first half, you made a very significant statement. Rather, you agreed with the statement which was made by Karthi Chidambaram that there should be a decentralization, towards the state units, and more freedom should be given. Do you believe that the absence of such a decentralized system is the very fact behind defections which we have been witnessing from the Congress party, which are rather on a very large scale now, and we saw that in Haryana elections, in Maharashtra elections, we've seen in one of the states in which you were General Secretary in charge, in Assam as well, and now in Jammu and Kashmir also.
So there you are forgetting history. There was a split in 1969 on the basis of ideology. There was a split in the Congress party in 1978. There was a split in the Congress party in 95, 96.
Yes.
There are some people who can't do without power. I know of some very senior Congress ex-central ministers changing over the from Congress to Janata Party or BJP because they wanted to retain the government accommodation in Delhi. So therefore, such kind of people are also there. So we are not worried. We want committed people who would like to work in politics on the basis of ideology, on the basis of commitment to the ideology. And that is what is more important.
So you believe all these defections is not going to affect Congress
Certainly
in its
not.
worst time ever?
Certainly not. No political party, there's a vacuum. The vacuum will be filled up.
Not even, moving away of leaders like G.K. Vasan in Tamil Nadu?
Certainly
wherein
not.
Congress has
Certainly
been
not.
out of,
It's not the first time G.K. Vasan or Mupnarji has moved out of the Congress party.
So you believe all these are, all these movements are sort of, a part of the process? Is that what you're trying to indicate?
As I said earlier, the Congress party remains on track with its left of center, secular, socialist, modern, liberal viewpoint. And anyone who doesn't believe in this has a right to leave. But most of them are leaving for their own personal agenda. So therefore, we are not worried about that.
Let's come back to the tussle between your party and the ruling party, BJP. Now, another of the issues, apart from the legacy and the national icons whom we were talking about, which has recently surfaced also, is the issue of the new government renaming several schemes. Now, there were allegations that the Congress government has named almost all of the central schemes or majority of the central schemes after the Gandhi family leaders, Rajiv Gandhi, Indira Gandhi, or the first Prime Minister Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. And the new government seems to be now changing tack. They have recently, the cabinet has taken a decision of renaming or rather merging Rajiv Gandhi Gramin Vidyutikरण Yojana and renaming it as Deen Dayal Upadhyay Vidyutikरण Yojana.
See, if they rename and if they sort of start a new scheme, they can name it in anyone's leader's name, we don't mind. But to sort of change the name, I don't think it is the right thing to do, because every government decision has to be respected by the successful government succeeding it. For example, there is the issue which has come about renaming of the Hyderabad airport.
Yes.
From Rajiv Gandhi airport to in name of NTR, which I think is not the right thing to do. Otherwise, this thing will keep on changing.
Okay, several other issues now. Let me, come to the government's decision, since it has been in power for 6 months, and the winter session. We are hoping that during the winter session there will be a lot of bills which will also be moved by the government. When it comes to changes, another of the decisions which is garnering a lot of attention as of now is the decision to go ahead and discontinue the German language in the Kendriya Vidyalayas and replace it with Sanskrit.
You see, we have been following the accepted education policies of the Government of India. Three-language formula has been a part of our education policy. So voluntarily, if some of the students have opted for German, they should not be forced to cancel that and adopt the third language as Sanskrit. It should be left to the student and the parent to decide what is the third language they want to adopt.
Okay, and what about the issue of black money? Because there have been several allegations which have been made from your party in the recent past as well. There were allegations made from your party's leaders that the new government is backtracking on its promises, including the Prime Minister himself, wherein the promise during the campaign time was that they will bring the black money as soon as they're back in power.
It's very interesting. The issue of black money was stashed abroad was first taken up by Mr. Lal Krishna Advani post 2004 defeat of the BJP. And they set up a committee which gave a figure of 70 lakh crore. Then I don't know from where Mr. Baba Ramdev came up with 400 lakh crore. And Mr. Narendra Modi, the BJP prime ministerial candidate in his campaign, said there is so much of black money abroad that we can distribute 3 lakh rupees to every citizen of the country, and the whole country can run on in one single year without taxation. Now, after becoming the Prime Minister, he says that no one in this country knows how much money, black money is outside. Well, this is cheating. This is misleading the people of this country. It is duping the people of this country, which Mr. Prime Minister must apologize for making wrong statements and duping the people of this country. Now he says we really don't know.
So, what's your party stand? Is that
Our stand,
is there no black money?
our
abroad, or
our
is there
stand,
less of it?
our stand, Mr. Daya, is the Congress party-led UPA government has taken all these steps which could have been taken by any government to unearth black money stashed abroad. But you must understand that money belonging to the Indians outside the country can be a legal earned money. Second, it could be money deposited abroad without paying taxes. The third is money through ill-gotten means, the ill-gotten money through illegal means. That is what can be confiscated. But if I have deposited, if Mr. Digvijay Singh has deposited a certain amount in any country abroad, which is, and he's paid taxes, so that is not black money. Or if Digvijay Singh has kept some money abroad and he's not paid taxes, then he should be paid. He should pay a penalty and pay taxes. That is second thing. But if someone has earned money through bribe or drug trafficking or other illegal means, then the money should be confiscated and the person who has got this money should be sent behind the bars.
But then why allege that the new government is not doing anything? They released the names, they submitted the names to the SIT, there were 800 names, and SIT has been formed. The government says that they're doing all they can.
SIT was formed not because of them, SIT was formed because of the Supreme Court order. And Supreme Court order had come just before the parliament elections. So the then government of India said let the new government decide. So let us first be clear, the SIT was not created by government of India on their own. It was created at the behest of the Supreme Court order, number one. Number two, what they are doing today is exactly what legally we have done before in our tenure. And we have a treaty where the names can't be disclosed. This is a binding, a legal binding on the government of India. But unfortunately, the same Mr. Arun Jaitley, who went to town saying that the Congress party is hiding names, also made an allegation that if the names are announced, Congress party will be embarrassed. This is again a very, I would say, it is cheating. I would call it cheating the people by giving false information and misleading the people of this country by the finance minister of this country.
So you say that even if all the names are going to be released, the Congress party
we have
will
no
not be
problem. We have no problem. Let the BJP announce whatever it has to do. If it leaks, if it makes it public, every person who has illegal money abroad this country, they have got the legal right and they are free and they have the freedom to do so.
Okay, one last issue in this, conversation. That's about the Congress being isolated in defeat in terms of its allies. You lost NCP in Maharashtra during elections. Both of you, that's Congress and NCP, fought elections separately. NCP moved to the BJP's, quarters. There is a bid to form a anti-BJP bloc, and that is a little evident in Bihar, wherein Congress, RJD, and JDU seems to have come together. One, do you believe that such a bloc can be formed? Two, can such a bloc accommodate leaders like Mamta Banerjee and Sharad Pawar, who have left you over the period of time, and especially Sharad Pawar and his party, who's moved over to the other side?
Well, Mr. Dayad, politics is an art of the possible. Whatever the possibilities are, and if there is a consensus or an agreement to create a bloc of political people, but following the same ideology of secularism and socialism and liberal modern thought, if they happen to come together to fight the communal challenge, I think it is logical thing to do.
But will Congress be, the lead party in that? Because there are the offshoots of the erstwhile Janata Party are also trying to come together and form.
We have no problem if the whole Janata Dal wants to come together. They are most welcome to do it.
But the Congress would keep its doors open.
No, as far as that is concerned, it's a very delicate political issue which I can't sort of comment on my own. It will have to be discussed in the working committee.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you
for your time.
Anytime.
So this was Congress leader and General Secretary Digvijay Singh with free and frank views on the present political situation in the country as well as within his own party. Keep watching Rajya Sabha television. We'll come back again with a different leader and on a different issue.